Good morning and welcome you all in the course Systematics of Angiosperm. Today we will going to explore the family Malvaceae. So starting from its systematic position, this family is also belong to the subclass of dicotyledonine. This family is also belong to the polypetalae. That means the petals are free from the and the series of this particular family is Thelmiflorae and order is Malvaceae. This is the systematic position of the family Malvaceae according to Bentham system of classification. And if we see the distribution of this particular family, it is commonly called as cotton family or mallow family. And it is consist of about 85 genera and 1500 species around the world. And in India, it is reported around 111 species that is found in India. So, the plants are almost cosmopolitan in distribution, but many of which are confined to the tropics and subtropics region. So, these are the main regions, but they are also cosmopolitan in nature. So, if we see the vegetative characters of the family Malvaceae, the plants are generally herbs like abotilon, malva, sida, urina. Some plants are also shrub like hibiscus, gossypium, and few are trees like Gossypium arboreum. And the one of the characteristics of this particular family is the presence of a mucilaginous sap in all parts of the plants. And the most common example you can observe in your day-to-day life is the ladyfinger. If you cut it, you can see if you put in enough water, it releases the mucilage substances. So, all the plant parts of this particular family has a mucilaginous sap in all plants, and usually young parts of the plant are covered with the stellate hair. You can see a small hair that is present in the all plant parts at the young stages. So, this is the one of the characteristics of the family Malvaceae, the presence of a mucilaginous sap in all plant plants. Then if we moving forward to the next positive character, that is the stem. Stem is, as we have seen that the plant generally they are herbaceous. So generally stem is plant is hybrid. So stem is there may be herbaceous, may be woody in case of a hibiscus, branched or erect, and spreading like in case of sida and malva with pubescent with stellate hair. So in this plant there is a presence of a stellate star shaped hair that is present in all young parts of the plant. So if we see the leaves, generally leaves are alternately arranged. As you can see, their arrangement of leaf is alternate. They also have a petiolate, they stipulate, and stipule sometimes deciduous as in case of malva. Simple, the leaves are generally simple or maybe palmately divided. As you can see in this image, the leaves is the palmately divided or lobed. Sometimes margin is the maybe wavy or serrate, and apex acute or multicosted, they have a reticulate type of a venation. So you can see some of the characteristics of this family from this figure, that is the presence of a star shaped hair, leaves have alternate phyllotaxy, and sometimes leaves is a palmately veined, and generally the flowers have a regular. And if we see the floral characters, first starting from the its inflorescence. So if you see, there is generally flowers are solitary, either axillary in case of hibiscus or urina, or maybe solitary terminal in case of abotilon, or maybe sometime raceme as in case of althea, or panicle in case of a kydia. So there is a variation in the type of a inflorescence. And if we see the flower is pedicellate, bracteolate in the form of a apicalyx. One of the characteristic of this particular family. They are bisexual, rarely unisexual in case of Napier. These flowers are complete, actinomorphic, and pentamerous with hypogynous flower. So, one of the characteristics, that is the presence of a apicalyx. So, apicalyx is generally 3 to 7, but may also the vary number. So, generally apicalyx are 3 in number, or they may be 7 to 9 as in case of althea, or totally absent as in case of abotilon or sida. So apicalyx, as you can see here, this is the apicalyx. You can see here in this particular image calyx and apicalyx. The outer layer to the apicalyx is the most outer layer that has the number from the 3 to 9, and there is a some part you can see it is sepals for the half hour and they are the fused. So these are the apicalyx you can see from here. Then the calyx, generally sepals have a 5 in number. They are connate at the base. You can see from this particular image there half of the calyx is united and half are free. So they are the connate at the base, persistent, and sometimes forming a tube in case of a urena, or they generally show the valvate type of a estivation. So they may be half fused or may be completely fused. Here you can see there is a no apicalyx is present, and here you can see the calyx of 5 sepals and the apicalyx have a 12 segment. Here you can see here apicalyx is only 3 segment and calyx has a 5. You can see from this particular image this is a 3 apicalyx. So if you see the corolla is generally 5 polypetalous. As we know that family belong to the family that is the subclass Polypetalae, and sometimes slightly connate at the base with the staminal tube, that is the epipetalous condition, and the corolla is large showy. They generally show the twisted estivation and they have a permanent vein can be observed on the petals. These are the corolla. You can see one valve of a 5 petal usually fused to the base to the staminal tube forming the corolla. This is the staminal tube. So they are, and you can see here around the base of the staminal column. So in generally every young part there is a presence of a hairs. Then if we see the androecium have a, their number is indefinite, monoadelphous, that means they are present in a young one group because whole the filament is forming a staminal tube. You can see here in this particular image, and they are also epipetalous. This staminal tube is united to the petals at the base. You can see from this particular image, and these anthers are monothecous. They generally only have a this generally. If you see a normal anther, they have a 2 anther chamber. This is termed as the bithecous or dithecous. They have only one anther lobe, that is termed as the monothecous. So they have only monothecous, and the shape is reniform, which is one of the characteristic of the family. You can easily identify this family by this peculiar characteristic: reniform, anthers, monothecous and monoadelphous. So presence of monoadelphous infinite, or you can say many numbers of stamens. So this Malvaceae family has a many monoadelphous and monothecous anthers, and their shape is reniform. So these are the basic fixed filaments and they are in rows. And if we see the gynoecium is multicarpellary, usually generally 5, that is case of hibiscus, maybe 10 in case of althea, or maybe infinite in case of abutilon, or maybe 3 in case of acadia. But all of them are syncarpous, ovary is superior, and penta or multilocular with exile presentation. So ovules is 1 to many in each locule. Every one of you have seen the lady fingers section at your home when your mother cutting the vegetables. So if you see, there is a seed is present. So this is showing the exile type of presentation, and there is generally 1 to many ovules are present in the one locule. And stigma is, if you see, style is 1 long and passing through the staminal tube. This style is passing through this staminal tube, inside this staminal tube, and stigma is correspond to the number of carpels. Here you can see there is a 5 number of stigma, that means it has a pentacarpellary ovary. And the fruit is generally capsule, that is the capsule, that is case of a hibiscus, or berry in case of a Malvaceae. So if we see the floral formula, they have a actinomorphic symmetry, bisexual, they have a apicalyx number generally 3 to 7, calyx is 5, they are united, maybe half connate with the base or maybe whole. Then corolla is 5, they are polypetalous, endoecium is infinite number, they are united by the staminal tube and they are epipetalous to corolla, gynoecium number is 5 to infinite and they are the superior in position. So these are the some diagnostic characters of the family Malvaceae, like presence of epicalyx, then number of stamens are numerous and they are forming the staminal tube, and the gynoecium, the style is branch that representing the number of carpels, the number of stigma that is correspond to the number of carpels condition, and the ovary is superior and the fruit is generally capsule. As you can see here the dry capsule. This is the diagnostic features of the family Malvaceae. From this you can see. So if you see the some examples of the Malvaceae family, like Althea is commonly called as the hollyhock and cultivate in gardens for the beautiful flowers. Then abetalong, which is in Hindi called as the kangi, a weed of a roadside of waste places that has the in which apicalyx is absent. Then the next one is the hibiscus rosa sinensis, which is a cultivated in gardens for beautiful flowers, which is also in common called as the gudhal. Then gossypium, which is cultivated for its cotton. Then Sida, wild herb, when apicalyx is also absent in this particular, and the malva, on which the name of the family is based, that is the wild winter herb having a reniform leaves and the white flowers. And the abelmoschus, a large genus of herbs, shrubs and trees. So these are some examples of the family Malvaceae. Here this is the hibiscus rosa sinensis, that is one of the representative of the family Malvaceae, and that's showing a typical characteristic of the family Malvaceae. Here you can see it is a twig that's showing the alternate arrangement of leaves, you can see here. Then it is also have a stipules, the leaves are petiolate, they have a simple types of leaf, they have a serrate margins. Then if you see flower, they have a epicalyx. Then in the LS of flower you can see here presence of a epicalyx. Then these are the ovary, staminal tube, and inside is there is a running the style, and these are the bifurcated stigma. So if you see the staminal tube, you can see it covers the styles, and if you see a single stamen which is reniform, or you can see here these are the reniform, which is one of the characteristic of the family Malvaceae. They are monothecous, so you can identify it by the presence of a monothecous, and their numbers are many, and they are monoadelphous stamens because all of them are present in a single group. So from Malvaceae family you can identify from this only one organ, that is the endoecium. They have a Malvaceae, you remember that Malvaceae M that has the many and number of stamens. They have a monothecous anther and they are monoadelpha, that is present in a single group. Here you can see all it is forming a staminal tube. You can see this is the staminal tube and the stamens are arranged on this particular staminal tubes. So if we see the gynoecium, that is the female reproductive part gynoecium, which has a 3-part pedicel, ovary, style and stigma. This style is covered by staminal tube. So in normal flower you cannot see the style because it is covered by the staminal tube, and here the lobes that is representing the presence of a ovary. And if you cut the tears of this particular ovary, you will find, you can see here there is a peculiar exile presentation, and here you can see this is a pentalocular, that showing it is a pentalocular structure showing exile presentation. You can easily remember by the structure of lady finger, that is has also pentalocular structure. So if we see the floral formula of hibiscus, it is actinomorphic, bisexual, having apicalyx, calyx number is 5, which is united, corolla is 5, endoecium is infinite, gynoecium is 5. So, and These are the number of apicalyx. These are the calyx which are united. These are the 5 corolla which is have a twisted estivation. Then number of a androgen which is many. You can see here with reniform, and they are forming the staminal tube. This is showing the staminal tube in this structure. And this here you can see the tears of orbit that showing the exiled placentosome which is a pentalocular ovary. So these are the characteristics of the family Malvaceae that is showing by its representative Hibiscus rosa sinensis. So these are the some common plants again. This is the hibiscus species, this is Pavonia, this is Rhodaira, Seda which don't have a apicalyx. Then Abutilon which is also called as Kangi, Anisodontia. Then Thespacia, Gossypium which is from which the cotton is obtained. You can see here these are the epidermal hair growth from which cotton is obtained. So these are the Althea officinalis, Gossypium, Alsia. These are some common plants of the family Malvaceae. And if we moving towards the economic importance, one of the major economic importance of the family Malvaceae is the fiber yielding plants. And in this fiber yielding plant, the most important is the cotton that is obtained from the Gossypium. So cotton is the most important fiber in spite of many synthetic textile fiber, because the seed coat of Gossypium produces epidermal hair which is cellulosic in nature, and this is cotton wool, and these hairs are flattened, twisted and form the staple, and the cotton plant grows best in the sandy damp soil of humid region. That's why you can see the suitable soil which is present in India for the cotton growth is at the Maharashtra and Gujarat side. That's why all the main textile industries are placed in the Maharashtra and Gujarat. Due to the growth, cultivation of the cotton is mainly done in the Maharashtra and Gujarat region. That's why the one of the major textile industries is placed in this particular region in the Surat or in the Maharashtra. So they have a one of the major yielding fiber yielding plant is the Gossypium, which is used for the cultivation of the cotton plant that yield the fiber. Then besides Gossypium, many other plant species of the Malvaceae also yield the fiber yielding plants like Hibiscus cannabinus, which is also called as a putsan, which is also called Deccan hemp or jute. It produces a valuable fiber from stem which is used for the making rope, cardage, coarse canvas, sacks and floor matting, and this is a substitute for the jute. Then the next one is the Hibiscus subderifera, in Hindi it is called as a patwa. It is a strong silky brown fiber which is produced from the stem. This is also good substitute for the jute in textile and paper industry. Then the other species of hibiscus also produce fibers as a minor importance like Hibiscus tiliaceus, it produces mojanga fiber, and Hibiscus esculentus gives a ochra fiber. Beside this, Abutilon therapasti, which is also called as a synonym Avicennae, produces China jute or Indian mallow. It is extensively cultivated in China, and it takes up dyes quickly and used in making the rugs. So the next one is the Urina labota. It is a weed in all tropical countries and furnishes a yellow fiber that longer than a jute and used as a substitute for the some places. And in Brazil, it is used for the making coffee sacks. Then the next one is the Malacra capitata, which is also produces a strong silky fiber like jute and used as a substitute. So you can see a number of fiber producing plant that is obtained from the Malvaceae family. And beside this, like Hibiscus esculentus, in Hindi it is called as a bhindi, or English it is a ladyfinger, which fruits are used as a vegetable. You can see here, and you can easily identify the Malvaceae family due to the presence of a mucilaginous in it. Then the next one is the Hibiscus rosa sinensis, or shoe flower, is a widely cultivated as an ornamental plant and also used in worships of god and goddess at Kali. And Althea rosea is also a garden plant that is with lovely pinkish flower, is also used as a ornamental plant. Then Abutilum indicum, which is in Hindi called as Kangi, is a wild plant which is sometimes it is a medicinal plant. Here you can see this is a Kangi. Beside this, Malva sylvestris is also a ornamental plant. Then Urina repeta is supposed to be a cure for the hydrophobia. So these are the some economically important plant of the family Malvaceae. So that's this is the all for the today's session, and you have maybe learned about the family Malvaceae, and you can easily identify it by the presence of a many monoadelphous and monothecous anther, and the anther have a very specific shape, that is the reniform. So you can easily identify this particular family Malvaceae. So these are the some characteristic and the economic importance of the family Malvaceae, which you can identify it. So thank you all of you for joining this session. Hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you all of you.